Please welcome to the stage Blockchain at Pepperdine, a workshop and seminar series for the education and innovation of distributed ledger technology, presented by Lene Martin.
When you vote, have you ever wondered whether your ballot is actually counted? If you meet someone online, how do you know they're who they say they are? When you buy coffee that's labeled fair trade, what makes you so certain of its origin? To be sure, really sure, about any of those questions, you'd need a system where records could be stored, facts could be verified by anyone, and security is guaranteed. That way, no one could cheat the system by editing records, because everyone using the system would be watching. Systems like this are on the horizon, and the software that powers them is called a blockchain. Blockchains store information across a network of personal computers, making them not just decentralized, but distributed. This means no central company or person owns the system, yet everyone can use it and help run it. This is important because it means it's difficult for any one person to take down the network or corrupt it. The people who run the system use their computer to hold bundles of records submitted by others, known as blocks, in a chronological chain. The blockchain uses a form of math called cryptography to ensure that records can't be counterfeited or changed by anyone else. You've probably heard of the blockchain's first killer app, a form of digital cash called Bitcoin that you can send to anyone, even a complete stranger. Bitcoin is different from credit cards, PayPal, or other ways to send money because there isn't a bank or financial middleman involved. Instead, people from all over the world help move the digital money by validating others' Bitcoin transactions with their personal computers, earning a small fee in the process. Bitcoin uses the blockchain by tracking records of ownership over this digital cash, so only one person can be the owner at a time and the cash can't be spent twice, like counterfeit money in the physical world can. But Bitcoin is just the beginning for blockchains. In the future, blockchains that manage and verify online data could enable us to launch companies that are entirely run by algorithms, making self-driving cars safer, help us protect our online identities, and even track the billions of devices on the Internet of Things. These innovations will change our lives forever, and it's all just beginning.
Great video, right? So we all know everything we need to know then about blockchain. Don't worry, today we're going to talk about what blockchain can do for us. Similar to the internet, we're not all coders, we're not all developers, so we're not going to worry about how it's done behind the scenes. But we use the internet every day, right? So that's why we're here. We're going to see what blockchain can do for us and why we need blockchain at Pepperdine. First, hi, my name's Lene Martin. I'm a student here at Pepperdine working on my second doctorate. Outside of academics, I also own a business and I'm a blockchain consultant. So some of you may have seen blockchain in the news, right? And some of you may have heard about Bitcoin, created in 2008. Well, blockchain is so much more than just Bitcoin. Let's first start with a simple definition of blockchain. It's a database. Distributed ledger technology shares, stores, and secures information. It enables independent parties to work together. It streamlines, it integrates, and it creates trust in transactions. But there's a social side to the economic side of blockchain as well, and I want to make sure that you all understand this. For example, through smart contracts and supply chains, blockchain could enable us to know the source of all our food. It could enable us to track land, right? It could also help Venezuela right now with digital currencies. There's so much more to blockchain than we know. And it's known as the trust machine. It's actually the fifth evolution of computing. It's the missing trust layer of the internet. Basically, it's the technology of the future. And why? Recently, a congressman said blockchain creates more effectiveness, efficiency, and accountability. Can you imagine that? Governments and businesses, education, humanity with more accountability, efficiency, and effectiveness? It's amazing. So let's look at some companies that are already implementing it, right? They look familiar. So they are setting up patents and becoming more efficient, effective, and accountable because of blockchain. So what about education? Here are some top 5 ways that blockchain is influencing education. We have data management. This is all about digital identity and how it's becoming more of a human right, and now we don't have to turn to third parties to help us track our digital identities. Credentialing. I'm sure many of you have recently heard about all the college scams in the news, right? Well, guess what? We can track student records and verify them instantly using the blockchain. Also, financial aid. I'm sure some of you know that Give to Pep event recently, Venmo was one of the top channels used for donations. What if crypto comes along? Are we ready? Then there's curriculum. We need to be a university that attracts students that are ready for the job market of tomorrow. This includes financial technology programs, fintech, right? Do we have those courses? We could get us ready for that as well. Intellectual property. This speaks to faculty, but also students. Blockchain will enable us to protect our work, but also share it. This creates the ideal environment for real learning and collaboration. This is how blockchain can transform higher education. So, are we ready? We could be. We could be with blockchain at Pepperdine. This is my proposal. It's a long-term program that appeals to students, staff, faculty, alum, and the community to design, develop blockchain solutions for Pepperdine. Just to go into a little bit more detail, of course, it's a very robust schedule, but at a very high level, there's 2 tracks. So, it starts with a research lab, a series of workshops. We already have Seaver College on board, we have GSEP, we have Grazia, we have a committee ready to go and start to research and design and develop blockchain solutions. Then we'll submit a white paper. We'll say these are the great solutions because we want to really look at what Pepperdine needs, what its aspirations are, and put the right people at the table to look into this. And so from that white paper, we'll select a few solutions. And then we have a development team in place. Our external partnerships are ready to go and start designing those solutions for us, right? Then, at the same time, in tandem, track 2, we have a blockchain center. These are seminars. Again, with our external partners, we're going to put into place conferences, competitions, exercises, meetup groups, networking events. We're going to have a hub for resources and projects, and students are going to be involved. And this is all a place for more education and innovation for blockchain. And this will lead us to being a self-sustaining center, because all of the revenue coming in and all the engagement coming in from the community and the students and the faculty and the staff will help sustain us. So we've got product development focusing on administration, curriculum, social innovation, and this leads to the rewards for Pepperdine. This is global branding, this is reputation, this is enrollment, this is opportunities, this is, again, revenue generating. Did I mention all of these colleges already have blockchain communities, conferences, clubs, courses? They're all in the works. Now, mind you, some of them also look familiar. They might have been involved in some of the college scams, but they're considering themselves victims. And I'm sure right now, all of those clubs and communities are researching how to put student credentialing on the blockchain. But how great would it be if we already had it here? How great would it be if our names ever got in the news because we already had it in place? And it's proven that the return on investment at these colleges, the ones having the courses, bringing the students in, getting them ready for the job market, it's really paying off. Blockchain at Pepperdine. Again, our blockchain lab, our blockchain center. Think about it. We all know Silicon Valley. You might have heard about Silicon Beach down the street, right? Now there's Blockchain Beach. We are at the right time and the right location, and the time's now, right? We need to research this. Now, what is this going to do for students? Let's put the environment in place. It might lower tuition costs. We could also create a think tank, a lab, to facilitate any kind of ideas that come up, like token economies or incentives or apps that we want to do that have to do with that, right? The truth is, a lot of artificial intelligence projects and machine learning are using blockchain as a platform. How can we excel in these technology fields without knowing about blockchain first? So, I want you to take a moment to read this quote, because I'll just give you a moment. So again, blockchain is the trust machine. It will bring value to higher education in a way never seen before, a way that the information internet could not deliver. It's now the value age. Did you know the information age is soon closing on us? That's right. How amazing is it that we are at a time when we are experiencing the value age shift, and we actually have the ability to design our own futures. Pepperdine was founded on an entrepreneurial spirit and a foundation of values. George Pepperdine had a vision for us to lead lives of usefulness, purpose, service, leadership, and to lead lives centered on values. Pepperdine University is a value-centered university. Blockchain technology is a values-centered technology. We need to be seated at the table for blockchain in higher education. We deserve to be there, and we need to help lead those other universities on this course. It's not a matter of if blockchain is the future. It's not even a matter of when it becomes the future. It's here now. For Pepperdine to keep its competitive edge, early adoption is key. We really can't afford not to answer this call. Let me close by saying, I'm excited for the future. This technology brings hope of a future based on trust and values, efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability. That's the promise of blockchain. That's the ability of blockchain at Pepperdine. Thank you.